Continuing my toy hunts in London, I visit one of the best, if not one of my favourite toy stores, and that is Forbidden Planet. And this is well known for its large cult entertainment, science fiction, action figures, comics, graphic novels, and of course mainly their Marvel and DC line. So outside on their glass cabinet, they do display some of their latest merchandise to promote the latest movies or TV series. And right now in front of me is the Infinity Gauntlet from Infinity War, as well as some statues for Marvel. And this clip here you're seeing with the Power Rangers helmet is actually 1 week later. So they do update their stock quite often. And now we're ready to head inside. So very excited. And we do have a large selection of Marvel and DC characters or action figures on display on your left. This is when you first walk into the store, and you'll notice that most of these are your higher end action figures. So from the toy brands Hot Toys, Mezco, Mafex, SH Figuarts, they're mostly displayed here. And for each of the action figures, they do have a tag next to them with the name, the brand, and the prices. And from my experience and knowledge, most of the prices are actually more than your online stores, or like I am where I'm living in Asia. A lot of the brands like Mafex and SH Figuarts, we do get them for a much better deal. But still, it's a great experience. Every time I visit Forbidden Planet, I do spend some time looking through all these statues and figures. So they do have plenty of the DC ones, as well as the Marvel characters and collectibles. And there are actually 2 floors here at Forbidden Planet. So on average, maybe spend about 1 hour in here. But there's quite a lot to go through. And some of these you probably won't see in the video. They do sell a lot of the merchandises like notebooks, mugs, card holders, coasters. I love that as well. But my main focus today is the action figures. So they do have some of the Dragon Ball statues as well. And now we can move to the main section of the store. And I finally found the Avengers Endgame for Captain America. And of course, the latest movie out in the cinemas now is Spider-Man Far From Home. So they do have Spider-Man figures out from Legends, as well as some of the latest X-Men line as well. And some of these do say 1 per customer due to the high in demand. So this is what the store looks like. And I'm just going to move up these mini stairs. You can see they divide their sections, the pop vinyls and Pokemon. And this is the section I'm here for, superheroes. So they have plenty of the action figure box sets, including the Marvel Studios, the first 10 years action figures from Captain America Civil War. We have For the Dark World, as well as Ant-Man. Above we have Marvel Selects, Thor and Groot, Captain America, as well as some from the X-Men line. And then of course we have plenty more of the Marvel Legends. We have the Avengers Infinity War line, as well as some from Ant-Man and the Wasp and Deadpool. And then of course more from the Legend series, Spider-Man, Daredevil and Elektra. And most of the prices here for Marvel Legends are your standard ones, so I do recommend this store if you're looking for them. And of course we have X-Men. Now moving on to DC, we have Lego and action figures. including the DC Collectibles. There's some comics as well as figures from the TV series. And now we move on to the movie side. We have One Punch Man. We have some Power Rangers action figures. And above is the classic Ghostbusters. Some of these are on sale now, as well as Harry Potter merchandise. Now we move to the ground floor, and this is the comics graphic novel section. And there's plenty to see here, including some Avengers Endgame magazines, and of course the Avengers comics. So there's plenty of Marvel comics to go through here. And then we also see some of the movie artwork books, including the art of the film for Justice League. Then we have Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, the art of the movie, as well as Captain Marvel. And then more Marvel books with encyclopedias, as well as some more guides. And then moving on to the comic section, we found the hardback for the Infinity Gauntlet, as well as the Superman and Batman comics. So you can spend some time walking around reading through the comics. And in this video I didn't show you some of the manga / anime section. They do have quite a lot here. And as well as comics, we often do find these magazines where it includes some sort of special edition collectible. As well as comics, we have board games and more Batman collectibles as well. So that was it for Forbidden Planet, and we'll be back here soon again. So just a short walk down Forbidden Planet, we found Fopp, which is a DVD Blu-ray shop, and then another 10 minutes we made it to Orbital Comics, which is London's well-known comic store, and they do often have book signings here. I think the X-Men cast were here recently. And this is probably a larger selection of comics, more than Forbidden Planet. As well as new ones, you do find a lot of the classics and vintage comics. And this is their hallway, and they do have more artwork and comics on display. So it's been another great trip out in London. Plenty of hunts and finds at these stores. So I'm back from those stores, Forbidden Planet, Orbital Comics and Fopp in London, and now I want to show you the items I picked up from those stores, kicking off with a free leaflet from Orbital Comics, and it's called the Infinity Reading List, and it's just a comic guide to show you the comics to read up on if you want to follow the Thanos story. So it does include Avengers vs Thanos, Infinity War and the Infinity Gauntlet. So it's a nice reading list to have. And then I picked up the free catalogue from Forbidden Planet, which they do have time to time, and it's just a guide to promote their latest merchandise and action figures in store or online. And I saw Thanos as the front cover, so I decided to pick this up as a collectible. So you can see inside the first page it has the Marvel merchandise, and then they also have DC, and of course other action figures that you can pick up in store, including the manga and anime section. And now we can move on to the items I picked up from the store. And from Forbidden Planet I brought the Avengers Infinity War movie poster, which they used to promote the movie in the cinemas, and also picked up the Avengers Endgame one. And for Endgame they actually had 3 or 4 other ones, but I went for this one because again this was the main promotion poster they used when it was released in the cinemas. And then I picked up a magazine. There was 2 covers to this, but I decided to go for this one because they had most of the main characters here. And it's basically just a magazine with photos and interviews with the cast. And of course it's to promote the movie Endgame. So Here we have Captain Marvel, Steve Rogers, Captain America, and then we have Natasha, Black Widow, other ones as well, including Iron Man. So yeah, it's just a nice interview magazine. And then I finally got my hands on the action figure from Marvel Legends, and it's the Captain America Endgame one. And of course this has the battle damage shield, the hammer, and probably the most realistic Steve Rogers head sculpt. And I can't wait to unbox this. I did go back to Forbidden Planet a week later and all 6 or 7 of them were sold out. So I'm glad I picked this up on time. And then the second week I went back, I picked up the Infinity Gauntlet mug, and it's the one from Infinity War. It's a nice gold mug, and I really like the Infinity Stone colours, blends well with the gold mug. And on the other side is the Avengers logo. And then just down the road I went to Fopp, which was a DVD shop, and they were owned by HMV before, I'm not sure now. And I went and picked up 2 DC movies. One is Justice League, and this is the one with the special features, and I also really like the cover inside as well. And then I also picked up Aquaman, and this is the one including the digital download and special features. So that was it. Those were the items I picked up from those stores. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, stay tuned for more videos, and see you next time.